people here ready to talk to you guys about opportunities to play esports at university. So first, I'm gonna let you guys go around the table, introduce yourself, and say what you do, what university you're from, or college, and then we will get started with some questions. So if someone wants to volunteer to go first.
Alyssa, you want to go first?
Yeah, I will go ahead and start. Hello. So can everybody hear me okay? We're good? Okay, awesome. All right, my name is Alyssa Duran. I am the interim esports director over at Shenandoah University. I've been here about 2 years, but I competed in college and coached collegiate esports as well. So I'm happy to talk with everybody about my experience. I'm going to throw it over to JJ.
I'm JJ. I'm the director of competition for NACE. I oversee kind of all of the NACE's competitive efforts and live events. We do house sort of the largest collegiate league in North America. We have about 20,000 students that compete with us. I was a coach and a director for a few years before taking on this role, and I'll kick it down to Travis.
My name is Travis Yang. I'm the Director of Esports Competition for Syracuse in Central New York. Just moved up here about 3.5 weeks ago. Prior to this, I was Director of Esports at Wichita State down in Kansas for about 2 years. And I will kick it to Chris.
Hi there, my name's Chris Funston. I'm the Assistant Esports Director at St. Clair College in Windsor, Ontario, so just a few hours south of you guys in Ottawa. I've been here for about 5 years now. I'll kick it over to Sari.
Yeah. Sari Kitelyn. I'm the Director of Esports at Full Sail University in Orlando, Florida. I've been with Full Sail almost 18 years at this point. Started building their esports program in 2015. And I also serve as chair of the board for NACE, which is where JJ is at National Association of Collegiate Esports, and very heavily involved in any sort of esports groups that support marginalized genders or marginalized communities within esports. And also excited to be here. We can't hear you. We can't hear you.
You're muted, by the way.
Okay. I don't know if you can hear us, but we cannot hear you.
Oh, I'm so sorry you can't hear me. Anyway, and I work at Carleton full-time, and that is my involvement with esports in the athletics department. But I am the host here today. So I was going to ask a question first before I turn it over to some of the students. So my first question was, how do students get involved in esports when they come to university or college and step into that world? Anyone can step in and answer.
Can you repeat the question? Sorry, it broke up for me a little bit at the end.
Yeah, no worries. Just how do students get involved in esports when they come to university or to college?
Awesome. I mean, I can get started. In general, I think usually students are involved at the high school level, and they're already competing and they're actively engaged within esports. And so at that point in time, when searching for colleges or universities to attend, you can kind of do it twofold. You can find a college or university that really represents the career path that you're looking for, and then do a dive there for what they offer from an esports perspective. Or you can pursue college for esports and then see what they have to offer as far as what you want for your career growth kind of after college. But the biggest thing to do, I would recommend, if there are schools that you are interested in kind of being a part of or learning, is start even before you get there. Join their Discords. Almost every college that has esports programs will have Discord. And if you can get in those Discords early before you even step foot on campus, you'll start building that community there pretty quickly and pretty swiftly. And then from at that point, you'll see there should be club activities and activities. Oh, I don't know what to do.
We'll just give him a second.
Oh, fixed it. Josh is the hero. Keep going. Sorry.
That's okay. I think, yeah, in general, just trying to build that community before you've even stepped foot on campus is a really great way to do things, especially following them on their social media channels, joining their Discords, find out when their tryouts are. A lot of times you can even watch their tryouts before you've even stepped foot on campus to get an idea of what that competitive scene looks like and really establish. Oftentimes colleges and universities will hold like kind of club gatherings or meetups that'll be open to even potential students. So it's a really great way for you to kind of start getting to know people that are there. And it's the first thing you kind of look for as you're stepping foot in the door.
Great, thank you.
I'll just add in, yeah, on the competitive side, if you have a game that you've been playing, especially if you've been playing while you're in high school, or you've kind of been doing your own team stuff, and that's something you're interested in, as Sari said, really look at the school that you're interested in, or the multiple schools that you're interested in, figure out if they have any pre-existing infrastructure for esports, and figure out what their system is, because for better or for worse, every school has a usually a unique way of how they will take in interested or prospective students. So some of them, may have a head coach or a director, and they want to be contacted directly or emailed directly. Some of them have an interest form that they like to collect info through first, and then the coach or the director can kind of filter there. Some of them will go out to high schools or go out to recruiting events like state championships, or maybe in Canada it's a little bit different, but whatever the equivalent is. So just do a little bit of research, ask the questions to them, and see like what's the best way for me to get connected. And usually, they'll be able to share that information with you.
And I'll just add, with everyone they're probably being Canadian, feel free to ask me if you're committed to a school, or if you're looking for schools right now they're involved with esports. My Twitter is Chris_Funston. My Discord is _atmosphere. If you're not sure where to look, just send me a DM, and I know pretty much everything there is to know in regards to esports opportunities within Canada at the collegiate level.
Fantastic resource, thank you. Anyone else has anything to touch on, or I'll go with another question? Does anyone have a question before I ask them? University opportunities, college opportunities, play sports? Okay, I will ask the question, and it's a good thing I have a journalism background. So when you guys are like looking at prospective students, is it sort of their competitive level, or is there an opportunity for anyone to get involved in esports, maybe from like a recreational level at school? And I'll win.
I can take this one. I would say a lot of programs have different tiers of competition based on what you are looking for. I'll use my school as an example. We have club teams, we have academy teams, which are kind of developing. Maybe you're new to the esports scene or competition, and then our varsity, which is considered our highest level of competition. We're putting them in the kind of the most difficult tournaments and in leagues and whatnot. So I would definitely say, like, when you're looking at these schools, maybe having that conversation of, I'm interested, but I don't know like where I fit in. Ideally, a lot of schools have different variations to kind of serve their entire student body.
Go ahead.
I would add that there's so many variations in getting involved in esports. Yes, from the competitive perspective, from the casual perspective, but even things like team management, social media, broadcast and production, events, support, general support. So if you're interested in gaming and esports, and this is what you're interested in pursuing, but might not necessarily be at the competitive level, most top programs now are definitely offering a well-rounded approach to that esports perspective, and all are holding, kind of equal footing. And universities and colleges now do offer scholarships in those realms as well, not simply for competitive. So think about what it is that you love about that aspect, or that I guess side of the world, and find those schools that really can help represent what that offers as well.
That's awesome to know. There's more than just playing. There's so much that goes into the industry. It's a larger industry than what you might immediately think of when you think of esports. Awesome. So from the league perspective, ask JJ from NACE. What is it like? What has your experience been like? What have you seen like student involvement from your guys' side? What is it like being involved?
From like a student involvement perspective, like the league breaks the record for like the most students we've had involved year over year. When I first took over sort of the varsity operations for NACE, I think we only had a couple thousand people involved with NACE. We also, like, in that meantime, we added like a huge club section, like branching onto what was just said previously. Like, we have multiple divisions within NACE for kind of what you want. We have more of a for fun division, and we have some more developmental divisions. Then we have some very serious divisions with scholarship pricing and live events and X, Y, and Z. But I've seen like a massive uptick in total participation across the board. And that's not just competitively. Like we have schools that originally only had a competitive team and now they have broadcasting, now they have analyst roles, now they have marketing roles. So I've just seen a huge uptick across the board.
I think that's like a great segue into what have you seen, like how the growth of esports, and where do you see the future of esports in the coming years?
Is that for me? Is that for everybody?
Go ahead, JJ.
I see us continuing to grow. I see more students and more students adopting esports. I think we've done a really good job for future generations to kind of fall in behind. I see a large growth, especially in sort of minority students, more diverse backgrounds. When I first got into esports versus now, I've seen a lot more women involved. Shout out to Sari for a lot of the stuff she does to get these kind of groups involved. But I just see kind of a massive growth. More and more schools are adopting. More and more schools are funding more and more. And again, these programs are developing in a wide array of things. Like some programs focus strictly on competitive, and some focus on other avenues, whether it's community building or whether it's broadcast and marketing. So I just foresee a lot of growth, and it's continuing to grow.
I'll add to it that I think that what we found so interesting and so fascinating about our space is that if your program or your structure cannot evolve, you will not survive. This world is evolving on a daily basis and on a regular basis, from both the competitive landscape and what the rule sets are and what the offerings are going to be, to the pivot of infrastructure, to the pivot of organized conversation and competition. And you have to evolve. You have to be willing to grow with the industry in order to stay successful as a program within this space. And I think that that's really what we've seen as the phenomenal growth up to this point. And I think what we'll continue to see moving forward is more refined infrastructure in that competitive landscape, more refined infrastructure around the support for those athletes and what it means for them, and what those paths really look like, and how we can kind of learn from traditional sports and adopt and evolve as needed. But globally overall, the industry itself, if you want to pin down what the one thing is that I think we're going to see as far as growth goes, it's that growth and evolution. It's that there hasn't been an established, this is how it's done, and this is how we're going to stick with it, and this is what we're going to do. It's a commitment to really relearning every day and keeping your finger on the pulse of what's going on and evolving your program accordingly. Chris, what do you think?
You guys speak way too well. I don't know if I have anything else to add to that. You guys are pretty spot on, especially like within Canada. We're still trying to catch up to the States. The States has like, 300 plus collegiate programs. In Canada, we're maybe around like 10 varsity level programs with a plethora of clubs. We're seeing growth more and more, like places like Conestoga, Trois-Rivières in Quebec. I think St. Mary's as kind of new programs popping up. So within Canada, we're certainly growing. We're collaborating more and more. If you're starting a program within your high school, you're setting yourself up to succeed as well, and to carry that on into whatever college or university you are as well. Like Carleton and UOttawa are great examples of students that are all student-led programs that are gaining great experience. They have competitive teams. They have broadcasting and commentary and social media, graphic design, you name it. So there's great opportunities to set yourselves up to succeed by starting right now in high school as you transition into college.
I will say from Carleton, we now have like a dedicated esports room something we recently added in the past few years. So what at other schools, what is it like? What is your space where people can come and participate in esports in a collaborative sense?
I guess I'll kind of take this one for us. So we just recently finished our facility 2 years ago. And while like the core of our program is competition, our facility is really student focused. It's meant to engage our everyday students on campus. It's built for them just to come in, sit down, enjoy themselves throughout the day. So our campus itself is about 10,000 students, and I think monthly we have about 3,000 unique students that use our facilities, and that's what it's really there for. Like our varsity program is like a drop in the bucket of our college campus. So using like just them using it isn't enough. Our goal is to make sure that we're providing something that every student can take advantage of. So whether it's VR, consoles, or PCs. That's what we're there for. We're there to engage with the students on campus and do something that they're interested in, because not everyone is interested in sports or going and playing basketball. Some want to come just sit down and play Fortnite or something, and that's what our kind of goal is with our facility.
I'll go and just speak on Syracuse's facilities. We have one right now that's kind of been around for about 4 years in the rec center. There's an expansion, actually multiple expansions, with another one coming online kind of more in the student union. So kind of what Chris was saying, like in a high traffic area, high visibility, and that's open to the public. So that allows us to bring in people from the community, right? We saw students playing Super Smash Bros. I've talked with local TOs here so that we can start doing locals when that facility opens up before this fall semester. And then finally, our third space, which is coming online probably next summer, is actually a more dedicated varsity facility. But because we also have an esports major on campus, that's where the faculty would be. That's where students who are in the varsity program will have dedicated team rooms to compete in. And a lot of those spaces in that third facility will be kind of co-curricular, in the sense that if we have a production setup, there will actually be students in a class in the daytime using that facility. But then in the evening, that room is easily kind of repurposed towards actual match day production, where the same students are now actually producing things live for matches that are occurring, for different events that are taking place.
Thank you, Travis. I can talk a little bit about Shenandoah. So we have a dedicated esports arena on campus. And I think we've had it open for about 3 or 4 years now. But it's kind of a facility that I kind of call it a community hub on campus, because ours similarly is open to all students on campus. We have hours that students can come in and play. But so it is used in the evenings primarily for our academy and varsity teams for practices and games. So we have a lot of PC set up. We have consoles set up for our Smash teams, but also anybody that wants to come drop in and play. But it is set up to be a sort of sandbox for esports events for our student workers. We have a broadcast room studio in the back that we do live streams out of in the evenings. We have a content room that is really just used for all of the crazy dreams and ideas that students kind of cook up and decide to make. We have a live casting booth out in our arena. That's a new change that I'm excited about. But really, at the end of the day, it's a place where students can kind of congregate, work together on projects, work together in their student work positions, but also just make friends and have a space to be together on campus.
I love to hear how the spaces are used for so many different things. So I think I just got 2 more questions. We don't have too much to be right at the time. So a question we asked earlier when we were speaking to the Carleton and Uwata leaders, a student question, was how do you what things can be improved in the esports space in terms of inclusion and diversity? Where do you see improvements to be made?
I can start with this one. I think that the biggest thing to understand overall is the goal of keeping spaces safe and not toxic and safe for marginalized communities and all communities in general is based on how that behavior makes other people feel. And so it's a matter of understanding there could be something that you have always said, that you have always done with your friends as you are playing, and you don't realize what that terminology means, or you don't realize how those things affect other people. Once you learn that those things may affect somebody else in a negative way, it's your responsibility to stop utilizing them. It's not your responsibility to correct the person who's being hurt by that language to say, hey, you're not supposed to feel that way because I've always said it. That's not how that works. And the goal continuing with evolution is that we're here to all learn from each other. This world is pretty phenomenal, with a big blend of different types of people that are coming from different backgrounds and different communities. And esports is really the ultimate unifier that's bringing everybody together. So use that opportunity to learn about people that you might not have been able to learn about from different walks of life that they've come from, different struggles that they've had, different wins that they've had. The more that you can learn about the community around you, the better equipped you are to support your own community and to really grow and build that inclusive mindset. Inclusivity is not a checkbox. So it's not a matter of saying, hey, we put a woman on this poster and now we're showing you that we have women here and women can come here. It's a matter of learning and evolving and understanding what that looks like and what that means, and really being authentic in that mission to do so. So it's an individual commitment that we all need to make so that our space itself grows to be a more inclusive environment.
Fantastic answer. Thank you. If no one else has anything to add, I'll give you guys just like your chance to promo your school, promo your program, promo your league, and why people should get involved, why they also students here should get involved. Thank you.
Sure, I guess I could start being from Canada. So we are one of the I guess we technically are probably the largest varsity program in Canada. We have, playing and competing is just kind of the base of what we have here. It's so much more than that. We have scholarships and work study opportunities available for broadcasting, graphic design, social media, you kind of name it. We have a very broad kind of program here that we try to facilitate as many opportunities as we can. Always open to conversations, whether it be about St. Clair or really any program within Canada. So yeah, if there's a way to reach out to me, it's best through Twitter or Discord. Like I mentioned, I'm on Twitter at Chris._Funston or on Discord _atmosphere.
Thank you.
I'll go next. I think I'm the only person in the world with my name. So Sari Kitelyn, you can look me up on pretty much anything and find me. And I would love to be in contact with anybody, especially anybody from a marginalized gender or marginalized community. I've connected to a lot of support systems that can really help in those regards. And so I'd love to be able to get you connected. I'm going to do a not so shameless plug for my favorite group that is out there, Esports and Coffee, which is really great to find if you can kind of give them a look. It's just a comfortable, safe space for people to all kind of learn from each other. We've got folks that are in school that are working on final presentations and folks that have been in the industry for 20 years, and just kind of really learning and growing together. But happy to connect with those opportunities. Full Sail is located in Orlando, and our main focus as a university, not just in esports, is in live event production, broadcast and production. So we do a ton of really cool events. Would definitely recommend giving us a follow and checking out those when they come online.
I'll go. Shoot, I don't want to sound too biased. Syracuse, we're just about 3 hours south. Big name, D1, Research One University. Esports is a new initiative here from the chancellor. So if you want to be a part of something big from ground level, this is your chance. We've got scholarships available going in 24, whether that's on the academic side, if you're interested in major, or if you want to compete at the highest levels, come talk to me. Let's get you to Syracuse.
I think I can go next. I'll give a shout out, of course, to Shenandoah University over in Virginia. We're either Shenandoah Esports or ShenU Esports on most social media. Really, our program has a big academic focus. We have one of the oldest standing academic esports programs. Esports management undergrad degree is our big focus. Experiential learning and getting students hands-on experience in the esports industry, esports events. But I have also gone through the process of being a student, a player, a coach, and through that process, so if anybody has questions, I would love to help out and assist, whether you end up at Shenandoah or somewhere else. That's not important to me. I just want more people in esports in general. So I would be happy to take any questions with that. I'll throw it to JJ.
I guess I'm last. Again, I don't work for a program. I work for NACE. NACE is the National Association of Collegiate Esports. We work directly with schools on sort of advancing the varsity esports space. So if you're going to a school and they're not a part of NACE, again, you can advocate for them to join, and we'll work with them on sort of the base level standards of a varsity program and how to get there. We have best practices and facility build out guides and a lot of things that schools would need in order to sort of facilitate the growth of their program.
We really appreciate your time and all of your wisdom. I think that I saw some people, when you're talking about programs related to esports and whispers, people are excited to hear about that. So thank you guys so much. We really appreciate your time and have a great rest of your day.